Want to welcome everybody into the 6A State Championship swim meet. Dusty Lister with you here, Rewind Sports. We're getting everything set up. We understand there have been some concerns about the stream, but I'll let you know that what you're looking right now is our scoreboard feed. This won't be the way that the stream is shown. You see how much time is ready to go as we're getting all of our cameras set up. But we'll be ready to go here at Kearns in just a few minutes. Hope you are able to sit back and enjoy the 2021 6A Utah State Championship swim meet on KSLSports.com. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Am I recording?
you want to make sure that speaker's on and take the arrows off.
There you go. I gotta be able to frame it, so I gotta take it.
Well, you we can hear each other? Because I don't have my...
Oh, now it's way off, isn't it?
That's okay. If we keep this nice and clean, I'll keep us clean everywhere else. We'll use this as just a piece of... We'll be okay. We'll be all right. It's going, so they just need to go to highschoolrewind.com. The Activity Association just updated it.
Highschoolrewind.com? They got it. They got it. It's there.
Let me make it. Put this on, make sure I can hear it. Welcome into Kearns High School. Well, not Kearns High School. Oker Park. Dusty Lister and Paul Larson with you here on highschoolrewind.com for the 2021 6A State Championship Swim Meet. And it's been quite a journey to get here this morning, or this afternoon, but we promise things should go pretty smoothly here on highschoolrewind.com. But we are set and ready to go. If you see that scoreboard get a little askew, I will do my best to keep that updated, but with the setup that we have, with a terrific crew, it's going to get moved around because of our students up there, but I'll try to keep it on camera. But Paul, this should be a lot of fun this weekend. You were at 5A this morning, and now here for 6A.
5A at Wasatch this morning, now here in Kearns for 6A, and here's our first heat of the women's 200-yard medley relay. Girls 6A championship prelims ready to go.
And we are underway, the 2021 State Championship Swim Meet. And really just grateful that we're here. But in heat 1 of 3, in lane number 1 is Camille Chamberlain out of Taylorsville. Well, actually, and we're in the 200-yard medley relay. Lane 3 is Layton, lane 4 Davis, lane 5 Corner Canyon, lane 6 Bingham, and lane 7 Riverton.
Pyramid seated, so the fastest relays are in lane 4. But leading here was lane 4, that's Davis. I can't see it all.
As you see there in lane 5, it is Corner Canyon. Actually, lane 4, pardon me. We're going to get our bearings here. As Davis is into the pool, goes Lauren Hall into the butterfly.
But Corner Canyon coming on strong with Britta Catmull with a 32.6, the fastest breaststroke split there. But Davis, Lauren Hall, with the quickest butterfly, she splits at 26.4, 28 for Corner. So with the freestylers going into the water, it's Davis easily in the lead.
But Davis been swimming well. This Alyssa Nelson in there for Davis, and so it'll be lane 4, Alyssa Nelson. In lane 5, Corner Canyon's Tyler Libbert. So it goes Davis with a 1:54.19, and Corner Canyon just behind at a 1:55.77. And then coming in third in lane number 6 as Bingham.
So there's 20 relays entered, and 16 will make it back to finals. We have a consolation finals tomorrow, and then the championship finals is the top 8. Again, we're pyramid seated, so the fastest relay is in lane 4. And so in this next heat, American Fork with the second fastest overall seed. And the fastest seed, Lone Peak, which will be coming up in heat 3.
So take us into heat number 2. And in lane number 1 will be Northridge, lane 2 Copper Hills, lane 3 Sky Ridge, Lane 4, American Fork. Lane 5, Harriman. Lane 6, West. And in lane number 7 will be Jordan High. And all the differences here, Paul, with COVID restrictions. Normally we just be boom, boom, boom going into this, and we have a little bit more time to get settled in here. It's going to take a minute to not be rapid fire with what we've seen, as they're only allowing one team behind the blocks.
Yes, and so we allow for the first heat to leave, and each facility has a little bit different. This facility laid out different than some of the others, but we're ready for heat 2.
And so into heat number 2 of 3 of the 200-yard medley relay. And lane number 1 again, Northridge. Lane 2, Copper Hills. Lane 3, Skyridge. Lane 4, American Fork. Lane 5, Harriman. Lane 6, West. And lane 7, Jordan. And we got to take a look in there in lane number 4. A nice start here for American Fork. That's Allie Hill. I feel like I've been talking about her forever. This is the third year talking about Allie.
The senior, this is her last high school meet. Allie, the only one under 29 with a 28.67. Harriman with a 29 split in the backstroke.
And the starters, it's Idian Anderson that came in for the breaststroke. So lane 4 still American Fork High School, as Mendenhall will come in. Madison's into the pool, and then in lane 5 it's Peyton Ming.
So the breaststroke split, 31 for Aiden Anderson. That's the quickest of all competitors. 31.63. The West breaststroker also at a 31.77.
And just remind you, as we see that scoreboard bouncing a little bit, it's because our students are up there. So I'll try to keep that crop. But as we go into the freestyle, lane number 4 comes Talia Thomas. And looking lane number 3. Lane number 3. That is Katie Pullman. So it's lane 3, lane 5 coming in second is Breeze Olson. They're in lane 5, so between lane 3 and lane 5 for second place is coming in easily. There is Talia Thomas as AF comes in with the 153.08. And then Harriman the 157 and Skyridge in at the 158. As we get ready for the third and final heat of the 200 medley relay. Dusty Litster, Paul Larson with you, as we've got a full weekend right here on highschoolrewind.com. We'll also be on KSLsports.com as that new transition for all of us at Rewind, moving to KSL Sports and just trying to get everything set. But hope you're able to enjoy the stream this weekend. We got the boys coming up tonight. And Paul's been hanging out at Wasatch this morning as the 5A tournament, or I shouldn't say tournament, meet.
The 5A
has been fun.
Preliminary meet.
In lane 1 is Cypress. Lane 2, Pleasant Grove. Lane 3, Westlake. Lane 4, Lone Peak. Lane 5, Weber. Lane 6, Kearns. And in lane 7, Syracuse.
So with the backstroke, lane 4, that's Kennedy Bennett out ahead.
As it is lane 4 coming in. And now Sarah Wilson into the pool in the breaststroke. And you got to look in lane number 3 just below her. That is Westlake, Ryan Lincoln. Trying to close down that gap, but also lane 5. So we got a fun one in the middle of the pool. And Sophia Trayer out strong as well, but still lane 4. Sarah Wilson, Haley Tiffany ready to go. And if you recognize that last name, yes, Jordan Tiffany's younger sister into the pool. In comes Haley.
So a 30.8 split on the breaststroke for Lone Peak. That's the quickest of any competitor so far today.
So Haley Tiffany in lane 4, the freshman. We're going to have 4 years of excellence come for here, but look up in lane number 5 is Noelle Jorgensen making a bit of a charge as we're going to head into the freestyle. And into the pool for Lone Peak is Callie Anderson. And in lane 5, Hallie Larson. Going to try to track her down.
Callie Anderson, the super sophomore.
But it is going to be Callie Anderson coming in for Lone Peak as the Lady Knights come in at a 153, then Weaver at a 155, and then in lane 3, Westlake comes in at 157.
And a 24.91 split for Callie Anderson. The Kearns, Jamie Horn had a nice split of 24.55.
So the
Syracuse, Allie Hout shows a 22.35. I think that may have been aided by a stepped-on pad.
always love starting with the medley relay. Again, welcome into the 2021 6A State Championship meet. Dusty Litster, Paul Larson with you. Gonna have a fun weekend. And what's amazing is this is the third year we've called these state championship meets, and time flies.
Yes, it does, and we're already to the girls 200 freestyle.
So heat 1 of 3 in lane 1 is Bailey Atherley. Lane 2, Molly Johnson. Lane 3, Lily Afulo. Lane 4, Allie Rich. Lane 5, Michelle Oakleberry. Lane 6, Chloe Rasbin. Lane 7, Belia Marcel. And in lane 8, at Ava Ming.
Again, these first 3 heats are circle seated. So the third fastest seed time is in lane 4 of heat 1.
So as it is, again, lane 4, which we expect here, Allie Rich out of Jordan, it's senior.
She's the only one out in at 27, the rest 28s and 29s.
And as you can tell, our broadcast a little different, as we've had to go close to the water to get this one right for you, but we'll make adjustments to get it right. But in lane 4, again, that is Allie Rich.
So a 56, her seed time is a 00. She is on pace to go under 2 minutes for the first time this year swimming high school.
We're talking about 3 seniors in this heat. And again, as we come back, this next kick is Allie Rich.
With a 30.9, she's on track to go a 158, possibly a 159, but we'll be under 2 minutes. That's Allie Rich leading the way. In second is Lilia Follow from Corner Canyon. A sophomore at Corner Canyon, but she'd love to break 2 minutes too.
And she's putting a good swim. As it coming in lane 4 is Rich, 159.32. Follow comes in at 2:01. Oakleberry at 2:02. So a nice swim there by Allie Rich, and as you mentioned, a nice swim from Lilia Follow. As we now get ready for heat 2 of 3. So heat 2 of 3 in lane 1, Madison Gill out of Bingham. Lane 2, Hallie Larson out of Westlake. Lane 3, Paige Kelsey out of American Fork. Lane 4, Caitlin Andrist out of Skyridge. Lane 5, Jade Updike out of Copper Hills. Lane 6, Sarah Gill out of Bingham. Lane 7 is Brooklyn Camberlongo out of Pleasant Grove. And in lane 8, Brianne Mertens out of Davis.
Caitlin Andrist, her seat time's a 1:58, 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. So we expected her to be out quick. She's out in a 27 for the first 50.
Again, hope you're enjoying the stream. We'll be here all weekend long. The boys session will come up later tonight with COVID restrictions. In some ways for us a little better, a little longer breaks and breaks things up for us. But as we'll get everything set. But how about lane 4 again? Caitlin Andrist, the junior out of Skyridge. Her best time of 1:58.
It does make it more difficult for the swimmers because they don't have the boys here with them. So it's event after event, just girls. So the time between events is shortened compared to a normal state meet.
And if they have been swimming club or anything else, they've maybe gotten used to it a little bit more, Paul, because as you know, we've been there for a few of these big meets, and that's how we've had to break them up the same way.
So Caitlin Andress on track to better her 1:58, but it's still a race for second. Lane 3, 5, and 6 all still in the hunt.
Yeah, lanes 3, 5, and 6. That's Kelsey Page in lane 3, Jade Updike in lane 5, and Sarah Gill in lane 6.
So a fine time for Caitlin Andress. She hits with a 1:56.27.
It's a 2-second drop for Andrist. And who comes in second is going to be Gill out of Bingham with a 2:03. Updike coming with a 2:04. And maybe a soft touch in lane 3 for Kelsey. But a nice swim by Andrist, a 1:56. Again, we mentioned a 2-second drop. As now we head to the third and final heat of the women 200-yard freestyle. In lane number 1, out of Northridge, Kaylee Penn. And lane 2, Lone Peak, Maya Hughes. Lane 3 from Corner Canyon, Ruby Wingate. Lane 4 out of American Fork, Talia Thomas. Lane 5 out of Lone Peak, M. Brewer. In lane number 6 from Northridge, Krista Owens. In lane 7 from Syracuse, Summer Nelson. And in lane 8 from Bingham, Aubrey Goetz.
Talia Thomas with the fastest seat time here with a 1:58.18. So no surprise she's out in a 26.8. That's the fastest first 50 of any competitor so far.
Hey, good swim.
Talia Thomas coming into the 100 split with a 56.68. Maybe just a little bit slower than Caitlin Andrist.
And lane 4 dominant today. It's Talia Thomas, a senior out of American Fork, trying to put out that good prelim swim. But again, Paul, as you just mentioned, lanes 3, 5, and 6, just like the last heat, going to be really tight with Wingate, Brewer, and Owens. And it's going to be 5 and 6 in a dead heat. Emma Brewer out of Lone Peak, Krista Owens from Northridge. Brewer just a freshman, Owens a junior.
Thomas on track for a 1:57, possibly a 1:58.
And it's going to be Thomas coming in with a 1:58. So right on her pace. Her time coming in was a 1:58.18. She comes in at 1:58.17. And then Owens with a 2:01. And then Brewer with a 2:02.
So Talia Thomas, that puts her in second for tomorrow's final, and Allie Rich from the first heat will be first.
So now we get set for the women's 200-yard IM.
It appears it took a 2:03. Sarah Gill looks like she's the 8th qualifier for the championship final.
So again, 3 heats. In lane 1, Sienna Christensen out of Bingham. In lane 2, Hannah Johnson from Cypress. In lane 3, Lily Hyde out of Pleasant Grove. Lane 4, Caitlin Riddle out of Copper Hills. Lane 5, Aiden Anderson out of American Fork. In lane 6, Sarah Nelson from Syracuse. Lane 7, Emma Harding from American Fork. And in lane 8, Madison Hansen from Clearfield.
So, with the early lead in the butterfly is Hyde from Pleasant Grove in lane 3. Riddle 700ths behind, so they're neck and neck, lanes 3 and 4.
Let's talk about strategy. When you go prelim final, or going here, not time final, it's going to be prelim final, the pyramid seating as you mentioned. What's the strategy, especially in an IM, of what you want to lay out versus in here in the prelim?
You need to make sure that you go fast enough to make it into the championship final. If you're seated in lanes 4 and 5, it's expected that you'll make it to the final. Lane 3, you're on the bubble, so those lane 3 swimmers have got to push it to make sure they make it into the championship final. They'd rather not end up in the consolation.
And Hyde is pushing it. She's right now, it's lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6. But right now, lane 4, that is Caitlin Riddle out of Copper Hills. Lane 3 is Lily Hyde behind her. And then Aiden Anderson in lane 5, and Sarah Nelson in lane 6. Is someone once told me the breaststroke is where you separate the IMs, but how about this?
Yes.
Lanes 3, 5, and 6 are all pretty tight.
They're all scrunching up. We'll see what the splits are. With the top split in the breaststroke leg appears to be from Anderson in lane 5. She goes a 37, while the others all had 40, 41, and 42. So Anderson with a 3-second advantage on the breaststroke.
As we come into the freestyle in lane 4, Caitlin Riddle, the junior from Copper Hills. But again, the battle is going to be 3, 5, and 6. But actually a nice turn looking at lane 5. That is Aiden Anderson.
So Riddle's going to have the win in 4.
We go 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 3 as Riddle comes in. Anderson then Hyde as Riddle with a 2:17.00. And Anderson a 2:18.70, and then Hyde with a 2:19.63. And see, would those times carry over?
We expected it was going to take a 2:20 to make it back to the championship final.
As now we get set for heat 2. In lane 1, Michaela Leeper from Harriman. Lane 2, Grace Huber out of Bingham. Lane 3, Angela Roberts from West. Lane 4, Stephanie Guzman de la Hoz out of Corner Canyon. And lane 5, Brianna Navarez from Lone Peak. In lane 6, Britta Catmull from Corner Canyon. Lane 7, Kylie Nelson from Copper Hills. And in lane 8, Faith Fox from Riverton. But the freshman, Stephanie Guzman de la Hoz, she's got the top time in this heat, 2:17.94.
Yes, and she's out quick in the butterfly with a 28.
Again, well, how about this in lane 2? We always like the outside lanes. Lane 2, Grace Huber from Bingham, the sophomore, the strong backstroke.
So at 35, we have 35s and 36s for splits on the breaststroke. Stephanie's best stroke is the breaststroke. She'll be swimming the 100 breast later, so we expect her to increase her lead with the breaststroke.
2, 3, and 5 right now as Huber, Roberts, and Navarez all tight as we come back to the wall to go into the butterfly. As again, Guzman de la Hoz extending this lead in the breaststroke. And it has separated. We're looking lanes 3, 5, but also all the way to the outside there. In lane 7, Kylie Nelson having a nice swim into the breaststroke as we go to the freestyle.
The breaststroke for Angela Roberts, she split a 40. That put her into second place. Guzman de la Hoz with her 39, the only one to split under 40 of all 8 in this heat.
De la Hoz well ahead. Did you see that body length?
She's going to have a best time this season.
Lanes 3 and 5, who's going to come in behind her? Roberts or Navarez. And it's Roberts at the 2:21.70 and Navarez the 2:22.17. A nice swim there, as you mentioned. Guzman de la Hoz with their best time of the year.
Yes, so she had almost a 2-second drop, 1.5 second drop for Stephanie, the freshman from Corner Canyon.
Almost feel like I got to say their best high school time of the year.
Yes.
So here we go, the last heat 3 of 3. And lane number 1, Annika Diaz from Weber. Lane 2, Ella Plautus out of Kearns. Lane 3, Sadie Hayburn out of American Fork. In lane 4, Allie Hill from American Fork. Lane 5, Kalia Merrill from Davis. Lane 6, Kaya Watson from Riverton. Lane 7, Mary Burnham from Pleasant Grove. And in lane 8, Kate Pullman from Skyridge. And to get going, it's lane 3 in the butterfly.
It's lane 3.
Sadie Hayburn.
Katie Hayburn, 29.0, a little slower than Stephanie Guzman de la Hoz, 28. But we have all 3 competitors, 3, 4, 5. They're all together on the backstroke. Possibly a slight lead going now to Allie Hill, the senior from American Fork, with Hayburn, her teammate, in lane 3, and that's Merrill from Davis in 5.
I mentioned Allie Hill's had an outstanding year. We've done all 3 of her state championship meets.
Merrill and Hill, both 33s in the backstroke.
For the breaststroke, where you separate out in the IM, it's Hill. Extending her lead again, lane 5. Got to keep her eye there. Kalia Merrill, the sophomore from Davis, hanging in there with this senior Allie Hill. Hill's seat time was 5 seconds faster than Merrill coming in.
Her seat time is at 2:13. She's going to be slower than that today.
There's Hill into the freestyle. This is where she'll separate herself.
She should be set to still have the #1 qualifying time, tracking for a 2:15, possibly a 2:14.
In comes Allie Hill. She'll cruise in the top.
She cruises to a 2:13.04, actually a best time for this year.
So an unofficial top qualifying time of 2:13.04.
Yeah, so she will be qualified first by about 3 seconds.
It's Hill coming in at 2:13, Merrill at 2:17, and Hayburn at a 2:19.86. It's a nice swim there by Allie Hill. As we now are cruising right along as we go to the women's 50. As I will go super fast on these names, because I know you all want to hear from Paul, not from me. But 3 heats coming up here in the women's 50-yard freestyle. In lane 1, JC Huo out of Taylorsville. Lane 2, Layla Walker out of Weber. Lane 3, Caroline Cooper from West. Lane 4, Lauren Hall from Davis. Lane 5, Eden Smith from Pleasant Grove. Lane 6, Rory Pilcher from Cypress. Lane 7, Caitlin Reedhead out of Bingham. And in lane 8, Denver Van Patten out of Jordan.
And in the center of the pool, it's Lauren Hall in 4. Challenged by Cooper in 3 from West. And it's Lauren Hall, 25.18.
So Hall, then Cooper, and then how about lane 1 and Huo? The 2.604. Always love seeing the outside lanes getting in there. As we head to heat number 2. In lane 1 to be London Egbert out of Lone Peak. Lane 2, Tyler Libert from Corner Canyon. Lane 3, Ryan Lincoln from Westlake. Lane 4, Jamie Horn from Kearns. Lane 5, Kennedy Bennett from Lone Peak. In lane 6, Dylan Egbert from Lone Peak. In lane 7, Alyssa Nelson from Davis. And in lane 8, Madison Mendenhall of American Fort.
Jamie Horn from Kearns in lane 4. Her best is under 25. She split at 24 on the relay.
Look at the top of the pool. Top of the pool, lane 6 was right there.
6. Can 6 hold on?
Well, Dylan
Yes,
Egbert.
it's 6.
Dylan Egbert comes in
With a 25.01.
Then Horn coming at 25.21. And then Bennett with a 25.22. Now we head to the third and final heat, but a nice swim there by Egbert there in lane 6, this freshman.
That was very close from second, third, and fourth. 25.21, 22, 25. 3 swimmers within 400s. In the boys 5A meet, we had a 3-way tie that we had to have a swim off with, and then they tied again.
Lane 1 is Larson out of American Fork. Lane 2, Hooley out of American Fork. Lane 3, Anderson from Lone Peak. Lane 4, Olson from Harriman. Lane 5, Chung from Taylorsville. Lane 6, Bachman from Copper Hills. Lane 7, Jorgensen from Weber. And lane 8 is Adamson from American Fork.
So it looks like lane 5, Amy Chung ahead of Breeze Olson.
It's going to be lane 5.
And it is Amy Chung.
Chung just getting ahead of Olson. 8/100ths of a second. And Bachman with a 25.33 right behind Olson.
But it appears to be Egbert, the freshman from Lone Peak, who qualifies first with a 25.01.
And
so we now will be taking a break for 15 minutes. We'll be starting up again approximately 4:45.
we'll take that break and we'll be back. You are watching the 2021 6A State Championship Swim Meet on High School Rewind and KSLSports.com. And we're back quickly from that 15-minute break. Dusty Lister and Paul Larson with you in the women's 100-yard butterfly in heat number 1 of 3. In lane 1 is Izzy Nielsen from Bingham. Lane 2, Riley Humphreys from Kearns. Lane 3, Stephanie Williams from Roy. Lane 4, Breeze Olson from Harriman. And lane 5, Caroline Cooper from West. And lane 6, Kaya Watson from Riverton. Lane 7, Isabel Hammond from Davis. And lane 8, Maddie Anderson of American Fork.
And that's Cooper who's out with a 28, the quickest.
About Cooper in lane 5 out of West High School.
The sophomore continues to lead.
And mention it's a freshman in lane 4 out of Harriman. Always seeing these young swimmers, and it's lane 5. It's Cooper coming in with a 102, Olson with a 103. And in lane 6, it's Watson with a 103.89. As we get ready to head to the second heat. Again, it's asking you to be patient with this on the scoreboard there in the bottom right. You're going to see it moving a little bit. No other way to do it. It's attached to the stands where the students come in and out of. In heat 2, lane 1 is Sky Herrera out of Weber. In lane 2, Madison Mendenhall from American Fork. Lane 3, Kylie Nelson from Copper Hills. In lane 4, Danny Cannon from Skyridge. Lane 5, Noelle Jorgensen from Weber. Lane 6, Eddie Barton from Jordan. Lane 7, Ashley Greenhall out of Copper Hills. And in lane 8, Ella Plautus from Kearns.
Danny Cannon from Skyridge, the freshman with the fastest seed time of 101. She's out under a 29 with a 28.93.
Pretty straight pull. We look up on lane number 4, and that is Danny Cannon, the freshman from Skyridge. And the 100-yard butterfly, and this is heat 2 of 3. And again, it's the young freshman from Skyridge in the lead, and Cannon. But a battle lane 3, 5, and 6 for second. And it is Nelson in lane 3, just out touching Jorgensen by 6/100ths of a second. And a fun finish there at the end.
So Cannon with the fastest time so far with a 101.47, improving by about 3/10 on her previous best.
As we now head to the third and final heat of this 100-yard butterfly.
None of the 6A girls have been in under a minute yet this year.
In lane 1, Aubrey Reedhead out of Bingham. Lane 2, Sadie Hayburn out of American Fork. Lane 3, Haley Tiffany from Lone Peak. Lane 4, Allie Rich from Jordan. Lane 5, Chloe Rasmond out of Layton. Lane 6, Olivia Balaguat out of Westlake. And lane 7, Graceland Mott from Syracuse. And lane 8, Isabel Arnett from Lone Peak.
Allie Rich out in the lead. She's got a quick split, 27.83. She's on track to break a minute. Close race for second. 2, 3, 5, and 6 all bunched together.
Rich with a few body links coming off that wall, coming back. There's an ice underwaters, and that's what gets that difference. How about the top of the pool? In lane 5, coming in looking for that second place spot is Chloe Rasmond out of Layton. Is this going to be Rich coming in at a below double O, so 59.80. Rasmond a 102, and Tiffany comes in at a 103. And for Allie Rich, at least in high school, her first time under a double O.
Yes. So 59.80 appears Allie Rich qualifies first.
As we continue to rapid fire, again with the boys and girls sessions. The boys will get going around 5:30. I did listen to the meet director. He said at the 5A meet, they were right on time. He said maybe 1 minute ahead at a couple of times, but he goes, we will be on time.
It does go by quick.
Oh, we had a swimmer not ready. We're going to have two swimmers. They're going to miss the time, and they had talked about it before as we go to heat 1 and lane 1 is Kelly Hatch, lane 2, Tyler Libert, lane 3, Abby Bartholomew, lane 4, Sarah Wilson. And we have scratches in lanes 5 and 6, lane 7, Madison Gill, lane 8, Brianna Wheeler.
The two Taylorville swimmers didn't make it to the block. And it's lane 4, that's Sarah Wilson with the fastest seed time in this heat of a 54.9. We'll see if she can improve upon that. And she's in at a 54.50, so that's her best time this year.
The senior Wilson with a nice swim. Music's filled for lanes 5 and 6. I know their family's probably watching. I'm just heartbroken. They missed the call, missed the blocks, and they were right there. But we head to heat number 2. Especially feel worse that one of those swimmers was a senior. And just hopefully she's able to gather herself and come back later on. So heat 2. Lane number 1, Jersey Nielsen out of Copper Hills. Lane 2, Alyssa Nelson out of Davis. Lane 3, Eden Smith from Pleasant Grove. Lane 4, Lauren Hall from Davis. Lane 5, Haley Bachman from Copper Hills. Lane 6, Rory Pilcher from Cypress. Lane 7, Cece Hewley out of American Fork. And lane 8, Shelby Clegg from American Fork.
Very close between 4 and 5. Hall and Bachman.
Now Hall and Bachman. There in lane 4
it's
and lane
Bachman
5.
by .05 at the 50.
Staying tight, but also keep your eyes on what's going on lanes 2 and 3 as well. But got a pretty tight pull coming off the wall. Lauren Hall had the top time coming in at a 54.51. But Bachman was only about a second behind her. As it's 4 and 5 battling here, Hall and Bachman.
It's going to be Hall coming to the wall.
Hall ended at 54.77, Bachman at 55.43, and Pilcher with a 56.30. As we now get ready to go to heat number 3.
So the fastest swim so far, still Sarah Wilson at the 54.50. In this last heat in lane 4, Talia Thomas, she has a seed time of 54.19.
In lane number 1, Molly Johnson out of West. Lane 2, London Egbert out of Lone Peak. Lane 3, Ava Clegg from Lone Peak. Lane 4, Talia Thomas from AF. Lane 5, Jamie Horn out of Kearns. Lane 6, Callie Anderson from Lone Peak. Lane 7, Brooklyn Camerlongo from Pleasant Grove. And in lane 8, Shallon Foote from Davis.
It's Talia Thomas out front, followed by Jamie Horn from Kearns in lane 3.
And Thomas with a body length lead, but it's lane 4, or probably lane 3 and lane 5 going to push her. That's Clegg and Horn. Can they gain any ground as Thomas?
Thomas split under at 26, the first one to do that in the 3 heats. The senior from American Fork is way out ahead now.
Yeah, the Horn above her. See if Horn comes in second. It's Thomas in with a 53.52. Horn in with a 55.58, and Clegg with a 56.11. As Thomas dropped time there, Paul.
So Talia Thomas with the top seed now.
We had a viewer send in a unofficial top time.
Yes.
And the need to be accurate. So now we head to the women 500-yard freestyle. In the first heat of 3 as we start the 500. In lane number 1, a sophomore from Corner Canyon, Ruby Wingate. Lane 2, Bailey Atherley, a sophomore from Copper Hills. In lane 3, Krista Owens, a junior from Northridge. In lane 4, Brianna Navarez, a senior from Lone Peak. In lane 5, Caitlin Riddle, a junior from Copper Hills. So lane 6, Bella Marçal, a senior from West High School. In lane 7, Kaylee Penn, a junior from Northridge. And in lane number 8, Soph Pocararo, a junior from Bingham.
With the early lead in lane 5, that's Caitlin Riddle.
Now, if you want to know something, you want to tune into this evening, one of the fastest 500-yard swimmers in the country will be going tonight. Amazingly, it's his first time swimming high school, but he is one of the fastest in the nation. But here on the women's side, Paul, when we get to the 500, this is a grueling swim in the high school, that 500-yard freestyle.
Yes, it is. And this year in 6A, we have a lot of fine competitors, but they're a little bit off the current record. Remember, Allie Hill coming up in the next heat is the 6A record holder. She just hasn't gone close to it yet this high school season.
And of course, one of the biggest things in the 500 is just keeping count of where you are, and not necessarily the swimmer, but us. That's why I got you here.
So here at the 200, Riddle settled in with a 33 pace, hoping to stay consistent with 33s the rest of the way. Riddle's seed time is a 5:31. She's on track to go about a 5:30.
And of course, tonight on the boys' side, we're going to have Tanner Nielsen going.
So we're at the midpoint there for Riddle. Tanner Nelson from Bingham, his first high school state meet. But here for the girls, in second, it's still quite a race. Currently in second would be lane 3, that's Krista Owens.
And the 500 will always be a little bit different. We're going to have it spaced out, especially in these first couple of heats, and even in the third heat, we could have some spacing as well.
Riddle holding steady at her 33 mid splits. With that, she could be 5:26. As I said, her seed time is a 5:31. She's tracking to be about 5 seconds ahead of that. Another 33 from Riddle. $33.89 from Owens, and the rest of the field doing 34s and 35s now.
As you can see,
So Riddle coming in at the 400 mark with a 4:20. Owens in second, and in third place right now is the senior from Lone Peak, Brianna Navarez.
Beginning it.
So Riddle on her final link.
And Riddle
26.
And Navarez adds a little bit of time, but Riddle and Owens come in. A good swim from Riddle.
Yeah, she dropped 5 seconds. Coming up in Heat 2 is Allie Hill, who's the 6A record holder in this event. Her 6A record is a 5:09. The overall state record is Amanda Barrett from 10 years ago with a 4:56.
Again, we'll ask you for your patience on that scoreboard. I'm trying to make sure it stays clean, but we're bouncing a little bit with the movement of our students. But we start heat number 2 of 3 in lane number 1, a freshman from Syracuse, Graceland Mott. In lane number 2, Alexis Christensen, a junior from AF. In lane 3, Maya Hughes, a senior from Lone Peak. In lane 4, Allie Hill, a senior from American Fort. In lane 5, Lily Afwalo, a sophomore from Corner Canyon. In lane 6, Hallie Larson, a freshman from Westlake. In lane 7, Brenna Mertens, a junior from Davis. And in lane 8, Isabel Bryce, a sophomore from American Fort.
This is what we call pyramid seeding, where they form a pyramid. With the fastest seed in lane 4, followed by Afalo and Hughes, then Larson and Christensen.
Again, lane 4, talking about Allie Hill. Allie Hill, again, just feels like it wasn't that long ago. We're talking about this sophomore swimmer and the history of the family in swimming, because nobody knows the history of swimming in Utah quite like Paul Larson does. But she's just been spectacular in her high school career.
And now as a senior, this year has been more challenging with all of the COVID special procedures and meet formats. Allie settled in on a 32 pace.
Allie's keeping that strong. The strong lead, but really staying on her pace, right? Because it's not about racing in the 500. It's just holding that pace, right? Holding that time.
Holding that pace. She's set there at a 2:04 with a 32 pace. She's on track for about a 5:19. In second now is Lily Afalo. Lily's best time this year is a 5:29. At the midpoint, she's at a 2:40.
Again, it's Lauren Hall out strong, and really what we're looking for here, right, is just dropping time.
Yeah, well,
Find your way into tomorrow?
They find their way into the championship heat tomorrow. The main objective today is just be in the championship heat tomorrow. Feel good about your swim. Get a chance to fill the pool. Understand where we are.
And what is your expectation of the cut for championship heat tomorrow?
It's going to be close to a 5:30. It's going to be a little more than that based on the first heat. We only had one under 5:30, but two at 5:31, 5:33. So somewhere around a 5:31 to a 5:33. Still holding 32s for Allie Hill. A follow dropped to a 34 on that last 50.
You see American Fork coach say, hey, go faster, let's go. But that might be lane 2 here for Alexis. Or Lauren Hill, or Allie Hill, pardon me. Just keeping her pace.
So at the 400 at a 4:13, Allie's going to be close to a 4:18. Our timers are mixed up.
Everybody's just a little off today.
Yes,
we've got a couple
they
of things
are just
happen.
a little off. Our timers are not tracking well.
Here comes Allie.
So,
she'd kind of pulled off a little bit with the confusion because we had an early ring.
And with the confusion, Allie still goes a 5:18 with the moment hesitation.
So Hill a 5:18, then a follow with a 5:28.
A best time for a follow also. That 5:18 was a best time this year for Allie by 7 seconds.
We'll see the final swimmers coming in.
So with one heat to go, we have 5 swimmers that have been 5:33 or better. So expect that's going to be close to where the cut is between the championship and the consolation final.
A nice swim there by Allie. We'll see if we get a little bit better here in the third and final heat, the 500. Heat number 3 and lane number 1 is Andalyn Grover, a freshman from Northridge. In lane 2, Ashley Greenhall, a junior from Copper Hills. In lane 3, Paige Kelsey, a sophomore from American Fork. In lane 4, Caitlin Andrist, a junior from Skyridge. In lane 5, M. Brewer, a freshman from Lone Peak. In lane 6, Jade Updike, a junior from Copper Hills. In lane 7, Abigail Wayman, a sophomore from Weber. And in lane 8, Chloe Hilton, a senior from Lone Peak. Fast time in this heat is Caitlin Andrews with a 5:12.07, and that is the top time coming into today.
Yes. So Andrus we expect to be way out ahead. She could gain a full length on the field. She's going to be out in under a minute. Out in a 57. 29, I don't expect her to hold 29. She'll settle in something just over 30.
Again, hope you're enjoying the stream here, the 2021 High School State Championship Swim Meet, the 6A side. Dusty Lister and Paul Larson with you. And we'll try to keep everything clean and make you look right. All we care about, maybe Paul, I know Paul feels the same way. I'm just glad we're having the meet.
Yes.
There's a great part of the year that this was not thought to even be able to happen. And now that, a couple weeks ago, we didn't know where it would happen.
A couple of weeks ago, there was great uncertainty with the fact that where it's been at BYU last year, the last couple of years, it wasn't going to happen there. And we were able to get things sorted out, and this meet, 6A meet in this pool and the 5A meet up at Wasatch. Caitlin Andress out in a 158, so still holding 30s.
And of course,
she would like to hold 30s and not drop to a 32. She's on track to be less than a 5'10".
Of course, the 3A and 4A went, and now that the powerhouse Carbon High Dinos, 3 straight girls state championships.
Those meets held at South Davis. So Andress still holding on with a 30.98. Doesn't want to, at the halfway point, is there at a 229. This split may be a 31, although she's trying to keep them to 30s.
Here's a great question I have. The swimmers, are they even able to see their coach?
If they're in lane 1, maybe.
It's a great mental thing, as my wife says, you yell at the screen during football, but it's one of those things I was curious.
So Caitlin Andress having a great swim. She's got a full-length lead now. Her last 2 splits have been 31s. She's got 3 50s left to go, which means she's on track. Could be going as low as a 5:05. That would be a great swim, and that would be ahead of the 6A state record. That 6A state record's destined to be broke today. So with 100 left to go, she's at 4:02 with a 31:0 that one. I think she's going to definitely be under 5:05, so the record will be broken.
And just having a great swim. And she's now into the bell lap.
Yes, 3. She's going to be a 5:04 or better. I think she's going to be in at a 5:04 with a new state record by 5 seconds for the junior from Skyridge.
And just made that turn, and here she comes. Where's she going to finish? Paul had her at a 5:04. She comes into the wall. That is a 5:04.47 and a new 6A state record in the women's 500 yard. Congratulations.
Coming in second, it's going to be lane 5 Brewer.
We got about 4 swimmers coming to finish up here, lanes. But a new state record for Caitlin Andress.
And it appears that Brianna Neverez is in about 8th place. So it took a 5:33 to make it to the championship final, as expected. So now for the exciting relay, the 200 freestyle relay. The 200 freestyle, 4 swimmers swimming 50 yards. It's a great event.
We got 3 heats. We'll go with teams in the lanes first. It'll be lane number 2 is Cypress, lane 3 Skyridge, lane 4 AF, lane 5 PG, lane 6 Harriman, and lane 7 is Riverton. Down and back and switch.
So American Fork in lane 4 with the fastest seed time.
CC Hooley got him started. And it was AF coming in. First turn, but we're tight in this pool. Looking up in lane 5 is Pleasant Grove. Lily Hyde now in the pool, the freshman. And again, lane 4, lane 5 is Larson and Lily Hyde. And coming into pool for AF is now Sadie Hayburn. So Hayburn looking to hold off Christy Evans in lane 5. And now you also got to keep your eye on what's going on in lane number 2 with Syracuse is Gracelyn Mott. Can she make any headway here? As it's a battle in the middle of the pool with AF and Pleasant Grove. Now into the pool comes
Michelle Oakleberry, the senior.
Oakleberry and Brooklyn Camerlongo. Oakleberry, and that was a nice swim there on that third leg by Sadie Hayburn. Building that lead for American Fork. And Michelle Oakleberry is looking to hold on to it. And in comes American Fork. The 143.77. Pleasant Grove 145.51. And Cypress with the 148.09. But no points for it in the C final, right? Oh. Heat number 2. Lane 1 Northridge, lane 2 West, lane 3 Taylorsville, lane 4 Copper Hills, lane 5 Jordan, lane 6 Westlake, and lane 7 Layton.
So it's Copper Hills with the top seeded time in this one in lane 4. But first it's Jordan High School's Allie Rich in lane 5. Has the fastest split of a 25.75.
Rich and Bachman was right on her hip. Bachman was right there. Was still lane 5, and Edie Barton just holding a little bit of that lead on Jersey Nielsen. They make the turn and coming back, and it's still Bachman. Or pardon me, lane 5, that's Edie Barton. But maybe lane 4 of Copper Hills. Nice swim there by Nielsen. Is now into the water for Copper Hills is Jade Updike.
Jordan trying to hang on. And giving chase is lane 3 and 6.
Nice swim by Updike. So coming in now for Copper Hills is Caitlin Riddle. We just saw Riddle have a good 500. That's a quick turn off that 500 to come through the 200 meter.
Yes, it is. But it's just a 50.
Well, just needed it down and back. You got one for me?
Yeah.
But a nice swim being turned in by Caitlin Riddle off that quick turnaround, and it's Riddle coming in. The Copper Hills will take this one. And in lane 6, it's Westlake and Ryan Lincoln. Then Jordan right behind them. Nice swim there by Westlake as well. As we come into the third and final heat. It'll be lane 1 Kearns, lane 2 Weber, lane 3 Davis, lane 4 Lone Peak, lane 5 Corner Canyon, lane 6 Bingham, and lane 7 Skyridge.
Lone Peak's time from region a couple of weeks ago, actually set the 6A state record. He's a 140.19, trying to improve on that today.
It's lane 4 and lane 5. Lone Peak and Corner Canyon. Anderson and Afwalo going stroke for stroke into the wall. Into the water for Lone Peak is Dylan Egbert, and for Corner Canyon is Ruby Wingate. Kenny Lady Chargers hold their pace, but what a swim coming into the water there for Lone Peak. Dylan Egbert, that freshman coming into the wall, making that turn and building a lead on the Chargers. It is now past the body length, and now you got to look at lane 6. The Caitlin Whitehead is into the water now for Lone Peak is Kennedy Bennett.
That's a 25-22. That's the fastest split we've seen from Dylan Egbert. 2 25s in a row for the Lone Peak team.
Here comes Kennedy Bennett. Is now coming in for Lone Peak is Sarah Wilson.
Another 25-24. So 3 swimmers in a row swimming 25s. Difficult to stick with Lone Peak when they're all swimming 25s.
It's going to be who's coming in second here in this third and final prelim heat. As it'll be Lone Peak coming in with a 140.71. Corner Canyon with a 145.72, and then Bingham with a 147.01, just ahead of Davis with a 147.81. Nice swim there for Lone Peak. As now we go to the backstroke. Got 3 more events in the women's session, and we'll have a break and then come back for the men's. And you keep it right here on highschoolrewind.com.
The overall state record holder in this event is Ryan White, who's swimming in the SEC championships. She's seeded first in the SEC championships, having a phenomenal year.
Is that
seeded
good?
first in the 100 backstroke, 200 backstroke, and the 100-yard butterfly. Ryan White from Utah, 3 events leading SECs.
And that's good, right?
That's very good.
All Southeastern Conference. I thought about the defunct Southwestern Conference. And lane number 1, Nat Hymas from Bingham. Lane 2, Maya Lauder from Westlake. Lane 3, Olivia Balaguat from Westlake. Lane 4, Kennedy Bennett from Lone Peak. Lane 5, Kaylee Tiffany from Lone Peak. Lane 6, Summer Nelson from Syracuse. Lane 7, Mia Larson from American Fork. And in lane 8, Mimi Johnson from Lone Peak.
So 2 freshmen from Lone Peak in the center of the pool. Bennett in 4, Tiffany in 5. We have 4 swimmers out in a 30. Actually, it's lane 2 that was hit the wall first at a 30.2.
It's all about the outside lanes. How about that?
So lane 2, lane 6, but it's lane 2 coming in to the flags, and it's going to be lane 2.
Maya Lauder out of Westlake, going to come in at a 102.88. Tiffany at a 103. And Nelson at a 103.71, just ahead of Tiffany. And then Bennett with a 103.91. Nice swim there by Lauder.
So a nice swim from the outside lane. 102.88. That's a 2-second drop. She wasn't anticipated making that championship final, but she's well situated for it now.
We go to heat 2. Lane number 1, Sierra Scholes out of Skyridge. Lane 2, Livy Adamson out of American Fork. Lane 3, Lily Hyde from Pleasant Grove. Lane 4, Ryan Lincoln from Westlake. Lane 5, Grace Huber out of Bingham. Lane 6, Edie Barton from Jordan. Lane 7, Marin Provence out of Weaver. And lane 8, Anita Rogers from Kearns. And it's the bottom of the pool. How about this? Lanes 2, 3, and 4. We come on the turn. Adamson, Hyde, and Lincoln bunched up there at the bottom of the pool. And off that turn, it is Ryan Lincoln extending a lead. They're being pushed in lane 3 by Lily Hyde, pushing Lincoln there. But it's going to be Lincoln coming in at 101.06, Hyde at 102.08, Adamson at 102.96.
It's going to be, it appears it's going to take a 102 to make it back to the championship final, depending on what happens in this third heat.
So the third and final heat of the prelim. Lane 1, Maddie Frazier from Layton. Lane 2, Lindsay Thornton from Harriman. Lane 3, Layla Walker from Weber. Lane 4, Collier Merrill from Davis. Lane 5, Danny Cannon from Skyridge. Lane 6, Michelle Oakleberry from American Fork. Lane 7, Isabel Arnett from Lone Peak. And in lane 8, Reagan Crake out of Corner Canyon.
So it's Merrill from Davis in 4 with the lead. She turns first with a 28.80. She'd love to be under a minute. Hasn't done it yet this year.
We want to see the best time, so we can get them under a 00. You're going to be tracking right near that 00 mark. And it will be Merrill with a 59.53. Walker at a 101.45 and Cannon a 102.03. Nice swim there by Merrill, getting under the 00.
And it took a 103.56, it appears, to make it to that championship final.
Now we head to the 100-yard breaststroke. As I've heard, the breaststroke events are the ones that really test your skills.
Yes, we had an exciting breaststroke in 5A boys with a 55 from.
In lane 1, Kira Cox out of Kearns. In lane 2, Sarah Nelson from Syracuse. Lane 3, Michaela Leeper from Harriman. Lane 4, Sophia Trayer out of Weber. Lane 5, Britta Catmull out of Corner Canyon. Lane 6, Oakley McLean from Weber. Lane 7, Ashton Whipple from Bingham. Lane 8, Isabel Karen out of Davis.
And this is a close heat with 3, 4, 5 all right together, followed by 6. Lane 4 slightly ahead at the 50. Actually, it's Leeper in 3. Correction, that is Stryer in 4.
Yeah. We're missing the numbers, but lane 4, Trayer. Coming off that turn, coming home. Sophia Trayer, best time 109.99.
Followed by Catmull in 5, the senior from Corner Canyon.
It'll be Trayer coming in at a 107.97. Catmull at a 110.75. And Leeper at a 112.12. go to heat number 2. In lane 1, Macy Cragen from Davis. Lane 2, Hannah Johnson from Cypress. Lane 3, Dylan Egbert from Lone Peak. Lane 4, Sarah Wilson from Lone Peak. Lane 5, Sarah Gill from Bingham. Lane 6, Anya Clark from Skyridge. Lane 7, Abby Bartholomew from Weber. And in lane 8, Alexis Christensen from American Fork. And we got a tight pool in this first 50.
Sarah Wilson, the senior from Lone Peak, with a slight lead, but lane 6, that's Anna Clark from Bingham. No, from Skyridge.
Yeah, Anya Clark, the sophomore. And still a pretty tight pool. But it is Sarah Wilson spacing out a little bit here.
With Clark and Egbert in a duel for second.
And it's going to be, look at this, lane 3 and lane 5. Who's going to come in second? Wilson comes in first. And then it'll be Clark in lane 6 and Egbert in lane 3. Just out touching Gill in lane 5. As now we head to heat number 3. Lane 1, Alicia Thomas from Lone Peak. In lane 2, Mary Burnham from Pleasant Grove. Lane 3, Ava Clegg from Lone Peak. In lane 4, Adeline Anderson out of American Fork. Lane 5, Stephanie Guzman de la Hoz from Corner Canyon. Lane 6, Angela Roberts from West. Lane 7, Marissa Visser from Copper Hills. And in lane 8, Bailey Harris from Layton.
So it's Aiden Anderson out front, the freshman from American Fork.
Again, looking there in lane number 4. Been lane 4 dominant today. Adeline Anderson, the freshman from American Fork. Who's coming in?
Guzman de la Hoz in second.
Go to lane 5, lane 6. Lane 5, de la Hoz, Guzman de la Hoz. She does come in just ahead of Roberts. But it's Anderson, lane 4, 5, and 6. Anderson, Guzman de la Hoz, and Roberts. The top 3 times.
Nice swims. Best time for all 3. And we're to the final event for the girls.
So the 400-yard freestyle relay. Lane 2, Pleasant Grove. Lane 3, West. Lane 4, Davis. Lane 5, Weber. Lane 6, Layton. Lane 7, Cypress. And tomorrow we'll have the overture. We're going to hear it twice tomorrow. Well, we're always going to hear it twice. What am I thinking? You'll get to hear it 4 times.
So out to the early lead is lane 3. That's Carolyn Cooper from West.
And Marilyn Cooper with a nice start here for the West Panthers. It'll be Bella Marceau coming in. So 56 there for Cooper. As it is Bella Marceau, the senior, coming in now for West. Keep your eye on what's going on in lane 4 with Shaylin Foote. With a down and backable switch once again. Marceau and Foote were battling it pretty good. And a nice job here by Marceau to hold on to that. Now Angela Roberts comes in, the sophomore for West. Number 3 heats here in the prelims. And right now it's West and Davis battling it. You feel like Davis, we'll see where they go on this one here, 3rd now into the 4th. As it's Angela Roberts and Kalia Merrill. It's about the same lead coming in with just about a hip length.
Davis is closing the gap. They're going to be even with the length to go.
Well, and Davis might have just taken it right there. You saw on that turn. Nice job of closing out this leg. And it's going to be Davis coming into the 4th leg here as Lauren Hall comes in, the junior. As Davis now taking over West, as Molly Johnson, the freshman, now in for the Panthers. And we know Lauren Hall can hold the pace. Seen that a couple of events today.
Pleasant Grove. Eden Smith trying to chase down West.
Now keep an eye up on lane 6. We're going to come to the close here as Leighton, Chloe Rasbin, could she close up some room here? This will be a battle here at the bottom of the pool. Lanes 2 and 3 as Davis comes in. PG not quite going to get there as West able to just touch out PG.
Whoa, PG,
PG did get it.
1/100th. 3:55.86 and 3:55.87. 1/100th.
Well, a fun finish. Always enjoy the fun finish. Here we go to heat number 2. In lane 2, or pardon me, lane 1, Riverton. Lane 2, Kearns. Lane 3, Jordan. Lane 4, Lone Peak. Lane 5, Corner Canyon. Lane 6, Syracuse. And lane 7 is Harriman. Right now, lane 3. Nice split here by Allie Rich. You knew Allie Rich would get a good start here for Jordan. It is a good start by Allie, and then lane 5 is Lily Afwalo. And then coming in now is Edie Barton. Edie Barton looking to fill out a lead, but a good effort being put in by Ruby Wingate. And Wingate looking strong. And it is Wingate taking the lead for Corner Canyon. And Edie Barton in lane 3, but also lane 4. Keep your eye on what's going on. Lone Peak, Cami Brewer, the freshman, having a good split. So it is Corner Canyon a lead here with
trying
Ruby
to
Wingate.
hold on, trying to hold off lane 4, Lone Peak.
So it's going to be Britta Catmull coming in for the Chargers.
And Haley Tiffany, the freshman, for Lone Peak. Trying to make her brother in Tennessee proud.
Of course, Jordan Tiffany had so much fun last couple of years with Jordan. We got 4 years now with his younger sister, and she's putting in a good effort. This is she and Britta Catmull going stroke for stroke here in the middle of the pool. And it looks like Tiffany putting on a charge here. Down and back, and we'll go to the anchors. Tiffany and Catmull. It is Tiffany closing strong in the last 25. Nice finish from the freshman. As now comes in is Ava Clegg.
A nice swim from Haley Tiffany to put him in the lead.
In for Corner Canyon is Stephanie Guzman de la Hoz. But Ava Clegg, another freshman. You got 3 freshmen in this Lone Peak relay. And all turning terrific times.
It bodes well for the future of Lone Peak girls.
As coming in now is Eva Clegg. As it'll be Lone Peak and then Corner Canyon. 3:46.79. Corner Canyon with a 3:49. And then Jordan at 3:55.79.
So both Lone Peak and Corner faster than Davis from Heat 1. So that puts Corner going in second going into the final heat.
The final heat of the women's session. As we got, and then we'll have the break and we'll go into the men's. And lane number 1 is Fremont. And lane number 2, Taylorsville. Lane 3, Bingham. Lane 4, American Fork. Lane 5, Copper Hills. Lane 6, Skyridge. And in lane 7, Westlake. It is AF with the fastest time. With a 3:42.
So out in lane 6, that's Danny Cannon, the freshman. For Skyridge.
Haley Bachman making a nice charge at the end of that leg.
But Michelle Oakeberry with a great underwater off the dive.
But it was a great start there for Copper Hills, getting a nice response from her coach. Haley Bachman going to 58, 55. Again, battling out in the middle of the pool, lane 4 and lane 5. It is American Fork and Copper Hills. Oakeberry and Nielsen. So Allie Hill will come in for AF and Jade Updike in for Copper Hills. And Allie looking to hand off a sizable lead for the anchor of that AF relay. And Jade Updike want to keep her right there for Caitlin Riddle, but she's going to have to deal with Talia Thomas.
Talia Thomas, who was the top qualifier in the 100 freestyle with a 53.52. The anchor for Copper Hills is Caitlin Riddle, who qualified 4th in the 500.
So now we come into the final, the anchors. Talia Thomas comes in, Caitlin Riddle is in. And a nice split there by Allie Hill. Spreading things out and letting Thomas try to bring it in the top qualifying time for AF. We mentioned earlier, Talia Thomas had that top 100-yard prelim. There's Talia Thomas coming in, AF with a 3:42.24. Hill and Thomas, the back end of that was outstanding. Really everyone, but Hill and Thomas stood out. Copper Hills at 3:46.62. And then Bingham comes in at a 3:56.02. Well, Paul, your thoughts of the women's session here in the prelims?
Well, everything went smooth. Some adjustment to the format. Couple of swimmers missed their event. That was a disappointment.
Heartbreaking.
That was a real disappointment for the two Taylorsville swimmers. But we had some fine swims, and we'll be looking forward to another great final tomorrow.
Absolutely. We'll be back here tomorrow, but we'll be back here at 5:30, a little bit before, for the men's swim.
7:30.
7:30. I had a text saying 5:30, but 7:30. The 7:30 swim's coming.
It's later than we normally start at state, but things have kind of elongated with the COVID day.
But we'll be good. We'll be right here on highschoolrewind.com. We'll be back in just a couple hours with the men's. But a nice job by the ladies here in the 6A prelims. We'll be back on highschoolrewind.com. For Paul Larson and Bill Francis, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the women's prelim session of the 2020